Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I really wanted to share with you this beautiful minty teal eyeshadow look that is perfect for the springtime. It's actually a look that was inspired by Amanda from Instagram, aka Amandizzle. She is amazing and her techniques are always so flawless, and I really wanted to recreate this one because teal is everywhere. Like, I was looking at the products that I have and that color is just everywhere. I'm surprised my nails aren't that color right now, but I use quite a few products and I think they're gonna be very beautiful. Like, how stunning is this packaging? I have it in this, I have it in like a blush, and it's just gorgeous, and I'm so happy that it came out the way that it did. So yeah, if you want to see how I create this look, then just keep on watching and I hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna begin the look by carving out my brows. So I'm using the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Ginger, and I like to just do this because I feel like it gives it more of a shape. So I begin outlining the bottom first, and I try to do it a little bit further out because then it'll guide the brow a little bit more. So that's what I'm doing, and it's okay if you go a little bit higher. You can always add product and just fix it from there. Then I'm going to use an E45 brush by Morphe just to blend it out, make it more diffused. This will also help to make sure that it doesn't look crazy when you put your foundation on. You won't have any line of demarcations. If you are concerned that you are going to have those lines, you can always use a foundation instead. I've also really been enjoying the idea of using the pomade. So I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills one in dark chocolate. I may get a different color depending on how light I go with my hair. So I'm just going to go ahead first and underline the brow shape, or outline it. And at the same time, you want to use short strokes just so it's not super boxed out. And get the tail. Once you get into the inner corner, you're going to go ahead and just flip it upwards to give it the illusion that you have small brow hairs there. Once you have that shape, go ahead and start brushing it upwards. After you use the pomade on your brows, you can go ahead and use a brow powder. I'm going to use the lighter shade of the two, and this is in the color Soft Brown. So I'm going to mainly focus that on the inner parts of my brows and anywhere that it might be a little bit sparse. I'm going to go in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Medium. My applicator got really gunky, don't really know why, but it happened. Just going to apply some on the lids. While you're doing this step, you definitely want to make sure that you are packing it and patting it into the lid. You don't want to just buff it out. I find that this technique really helps, especially when you're doing more vibrant eyeshadow looks. So I'm going to be using a lot of these shadows. I believe most of them are honestly ColourPop, but I will check below. Yeah, like this one is ColourPop and it's in the shade Checkmate. This guy is Aqua from Anastasia, so Anastasia. And then Muscle Beach, also by ColourPop. Now, the reason why I was so inspired was mainly for two reasons. I discovered the ice cream palette back in my collection. I've been like trying to somewhat declutter the mess that I have and get rid of products that I just don't use. And then I came across this palette, which is really gorgeous, but I just haven't really used it. So I figured it would be a great opportunity for me to try it out this time and see if it still lives up to the, you know, to the expectations. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with Berries and Cream, which is the shade on the top. I feel like it's getting washed out. Good. And focus. Good. And I'm gonna place that all over just to give us that base to apply eyeshadow. Using a Sephora Collection number 10 Pro Crease Brush, I'm going to dip into that mint green. This is actually going to be the lid color, but I'm going to start off with this one as a transition. Let's see how it works. I've been dying to use this color, but I never have, so we shall see. I really hope it doesn't get muddy because I feel like these eyeshadows tend to have that happen. We're just going to pack it on and hope for the best. And again, the shade is called Checkmate. And I'm also going to place this shade on the lid as well. Pretty much everywhere. So pretty. Great, so far super simple, really bright. And now I'm gonna dip into Checkmate, or Muscle Beach. I believe this one's Muscle Beach. This is more of like a Tiffany blue, so we're just gonna focus that on the outer corner. Alright, so I'm gonna grab the brush M507 and I'm just gonna use that as well, packing it on even more, concentrating it mostly on the outer corner. These are dusty. Look at just how much kickback it has. Beautiful pigment, but it's just a lot. So now I'm gonna grab that blending brush that we used initially and blend it out. Really take your time with this. I'm gonna go ahead and use this guy towards the lid. Let's see if it shows up. Gonna use my finger instead, using my pinky. Let's see. So I just grabbed the Jaclyn Hill palette and I'm gonna use the shade on the bottom just to intensify it just a little bit more. I'm gonna be using a Dose of Colors blending brush and I am gonna dip quite a bit into it and focus that on the outer corner. I feel like that's doing it a little bit more justice in that outer corner portion of the eye. Just to show a little bit more gradient, you know? That is really pretty. So really pack it on. I feel like when you compare the two shades, it's just like a little bit darker, and I think that's exactly what I needed. So again, focus this on the outer corner. And try not to push it up too high. Like this one, on this side, it seems to go a little bit higher than I wanted to, so I'm just gonna try to redirect that shade a little bit. The brush that I used earlier, and I'm just going to focus that. Again, it's all about packing on the color. It's okay if you blend it out and it fades a little bit, but just go ahead and add that intensity again. Blend out any edges. And again, I'm using the Checkmate shade just to blend out the transition. I do want to go ahead and try to intensify the lid shade, so I'm gonna go in with that same flat brush and some of the Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, cucumber, and green tea just to intensify it. So I'm gonna spray it just a little, or up a little bit too much. And I'm gonna go in with that shade again. You can totally just keep using your finger, but I'm just curious to see if it'll help to intensify it a little bit more, make it more creamy. So let's see. And then this is the pigment that I was referring to earlier. It's the Eye Dual in the shade Mint Be. And I'm gonna grab that shade and I'm gonna try to do a wing liner with it. Let's see how it works. and we shall see. Now I'm going to use the silver glitter from Urban Decay, and I'm going to try to outline that liner. And then I'm going to do a thin line of black liner just to prep the lashes. Alright, so I'm having a hard time deciding on whether or not I want to do just a black wing instead, because I feel like it's not really showing up. So what I think I'm going to do is try to do that instead and just outline it with the silver glitter. So now I'm going to go ahead and clean up the fallout that I have underneath, and I will be right back. So I went ahead and I applied some lashes because I figured, you know, they take forever to put on, especially these. For some reason they were giving me a little bit of a harder time, like I almost feel like it's not really on, but they look good. And now I'm gonna move on to the face. Before I move on to the face, actually, I did want to let you know that I did go ahead and I grabbed this mint color up here, make sure it's at the mint, and I also put it towards the center. I'm just gonna place it again, so a little bit higher up than the original lid color that we used, just because I felt like it needed that extra brightness, and I feel like it really worked, and I like it. I don't want it to fall all over the lash because I have a horrible tendency of letting that happen, so I'm just gonna let it roll. For the face, I'm gonna try something a little bit different, and I'm gonna use the Peach Deluxe from Melanie Mills. I've heard nothing but good things about this, and everyone that uses it on their skin looks amazing. So I figured I would give it a shot. I know I'm oily, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyway. It looks beautiful, like that. Put the cap back on. So let's see. It's very pretty. Oh, it smells good too. My skin's been doing okay, so hopefully this will do the trick and give us that extra glow that we love. Let's make him look like the Tin Man, but it's nice and tacky, so I like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation. And I'm first going to use a brush to just put the foundation on first. So I'm putting a generous amount, like 4 droplets. Place it in the areas where I need the coverage, like so. Guys, this peach thing is so pretty, like, I actually don't mind it. It's super tacky, like I'm not used to it being this tacky. That's okay. I'm gonna apply just a tiny bit. Ow. That pinched me. Okay. And then I'm gonna use a new sponge. Can we talk about how massive this is? Like, in comparison to my hand, it pretty much takes up the whole thing. It's from Sonia Kashuk, and what's really funny about it is that when I purchased it, I was like, cute, you know, I've heard good things about the Sonia Kashuk brush, so I was pretty excited to try it out and see if it was worth of the hype. And then I recently traveled with it, and I was like, oh my god, it's massive. It was massive even just like in the little box that it came with. But it was cheap. It was actually $7, and I recently went back to Target and I noticed that they had a pack of 2 for $10, so I really think it's a steal. It's a really nice consistency, or not consistency, but texture. It's very bouncy. Since I currently can't find my concealer, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Makeup Revolution one in the shade C8. And I'm gonna go ahead and place that in the areas where I need a little bit of extra coverage and also just extra brightening. I've mentioned it before, but I've actually really been enjoying this. Oh no. Just careful with your lashes. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit there, and while it's sitting, I'm going to contour. For contouring, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild makeup stick in the shade Call Me Maple. And I'm gonna try to do it a little bit higher than I usually do to see if it'll give me some more cheekbone action. Off the forehead, tip of my nose. Alright. I'll be using the small dual fiber brush from Sigma in the F55, and I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that out in an upwards motion. This will give me the appearance of a cheekbone that I don't have. I have such a round face that it's hard to contour. I've mentioned it before. Now I will say I love this sponge for the base. For concealer it can get a little tricky because, you know, it's a big sponge, but it blends it out nicely. The nice thing too about applying the concealer before doing the contour is that it gives it a moment to sit, and that way it'll give you an even more of a flawless face, which is ideal. This will also help to marry both colors. You can add more if you want to, but I will be doing that with powder so it doesn't look super crazy. The base looks so good. I'm very impressed. And now I want to go ahead and bake the under eyes, so I will start off with using the Fit Me powder. Put a good chunk on there and grab my my beauty sponge and go ahead and apply it. I will say I wish this sponge would be able to cut it a little bit better. You know, cut the cheek, but that's good. Still very good. And I'm gonna go and grab the Dark Deepest Mineralized Skin Finish, like so. And I'm gonna grab it with a contour brush. See if I can give myself that chiseled look. And with an eyeshadow brush, try to get my nose a little bit in there. Now I'm gonna grab the Urban Decay Naked Skin Ultra Definition Powder Foundation in medium warm, just to blend everything out. Wow, my skin literally looks like butter.
So soft, oh my goodness.
For blush, I'm gonna use the Amazement blush from Dose of Colors. It's like a nice peachy shade. And I'm gonna grab a Morphe brush. This one came in a set. This blush is so beautiful. It just has some shimmer that's like a little weird, but so pretty. My camera was about to die, but I just wanted to go ahead and grab another bronzer. This one is Give Me Sun from MAC. And I'm just bronzing up the skin a little more. For highlight, I want to make it really pretty. Let's see. I think I know which one. I'm gonna use Heat Wave from Estee Lauder. This one came out last year. Pretty sure they have another one coming out this year. And you know what? Before I even do that, let me set my face with the Mario Badescu. And fan. And now I can go ahead and add my highlighter. Oh yes. And then with my face, I keep calling it a face. I don't know. With my beauty sponge, I'm gonna go ahead and pat that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and complete the bottom portion of the eyes. So first I'm gonna start off with that light mint color and the same Morphe 507 brush. Be very careful with this because it can get messy. I probably should have done it while I was baking, but I didn't think about it in the moment. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply that on the bottom.
Now I'm dipping into the darker shade.
And now I'm gonna dip into the Morphe palette. I don't know why it sounds like all beat up. That same shade on the bottom. On the outer corner. Okay. And I'll go back into the ice cream palette. Dip my finger in there and my brush in there into berries and cream and put that in the inner corner just to help brighten it up even more. But it still looks a little bit minty because I did use that color, the transition shade in there, just so it stands out. I think it looks amazing. I'm just going to place this under the brow bone for some highlight, just in case it faded. Pretty. If you ever feel like you have a little too much face makeup on, you can always grab your facial spray, your beauty sponge, spray it a good amount, and then go over the face base just to ensure that you get rid of any excess product that you might have. So I tend to get that a lot where I place my concealer and my highlight. To add an extra pop on the eyes, I'm going to use the metallic luster liner from Anastasia in liquid silver. If I could open it, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and place that right out here. In the inner corner, just a bit. For the lip color, I'm going to first start off with Mahogany Lip Liner from MAC. Love this. Then I'm going to use the shade Knock on Wood from Dose of Colors. I love these liquid lipsticks. And with a lip brush, I'm just going to blend it out. To top off the lip, I'm going to use the Perfect Nude lip gloss from Sephora collection, just to complete the shine. There you have it. That is the final look. It was super easy and it came out really pretty. Like, I'm obsessed with the color, you know, everything. Teal is definitely in, and I'm very motivated to use more colors. So let me know in the comment section what other color you guys would like to see, because I could definitely create that. I'm actually thinking about using the Lavender Honey shade from that ice cream palette from Dose of Colors. I think it was gorgeous, and it just gives me an opportunity to utilize the palette a little bit more, because it is really pretty, but it isn't used as much as it should be. But yeah, so there you have it. I thank you so much for watching, and let me know what other suggestions you guys have for me in the comment section below. I would love to hear them. And until next time, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye guys.